Okay, yo, what's up, guys? The DD Grinder here, walking around to the other side of the table so that way you can see me. Okay, and here's my deck profile from the first place PPG tournament in Kentucky that happened over the weekend. I ended up only losing the second round to Flounderies. You know, what am I supposed to do versus Mav Eagle? It's the only deck I've lost to this format, really. I lost to one other Dragon player.
I wish I
That is
won something.
I'm out. Dude's carried a YCS trophy. But alright, so let's hop into this. So we got 3 Nib, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Ogre, 3 Veiler, 3 Gamma, Bell, Terraforming, Mystic Mine. These are my going second technique cards. Gamma's not supposed to be in here. Shout out to Joe for not having droplets.
US, my sponsor.
Also, shout out to Midwest Gaming. Shout out to David for the token. Shout out to Mike for the testing. Shout out to DB Grinder for the best print kit spreadsheet I've ever seen. And I felt like these were pretty good. Game was not that great. It's a really good hand trap, but then you have to put Driver in the deck, and like you're playing more Burks than you really should be playing. So probably will end up changing that. Also, Terraforming starter going second card. It's like really, really good. And then we have 3 water, 3 fire, 2 wind, 2 rock. So the reason why I went for this ratio, I've seen people cut down to the other ratios, but this is 60. Also, I've seen people like max out on all of these, and they play like a lot more print kits, which with the math behind the deck really doesn't make sense. And you could say like, oh, it's for the grind, but you won't really ever need more than this. Like, you could argue one more print kid for that, but I don't think it's worth playing, because then you're like cutting down on going to second cards, and that's really how you win the format. Your engine cards going second are good, like obviously you need them, but they're not as important as the hand traps. Like I'd rather see 5 hand traps going second than 5 engine cards, because the engine cards means I just auto lose. And then more print kits, field spell. There's also the Terraforming that was in there earlier. I just put that with the going second stuff because that's kind of what it is, and the starter is cool. Small World, this card's crazy. Cards print kit, temple, hand trap. Many times throughout the tournament, I would just like Small World, search Ash, and like their Celestial follow-up doesn't do anything, and I Weather Washer beat over DP, so like, it's game at that point. And then there's just, this card's really good. And also, you don't want to see 2 print kits, but at the same time, you want to have a good enough ratio of print kits to where you're going to draw one. And this card is a pseudo print kit. So like you could draw this plus a print kit, and it's really good. But if you draw 2 print kits together, it's usually not the greatest, unless if you have an extender with it. Very good, for sure, would play this again. Even if I was to cut down on cards. Maybe I'll do 3 right, 3 temple, foolish. I play 10 rights in my deck, which isn't that great of a number. But for 60, we're just trying to max out on this card because the card's good. 2 faithful. You don't want to play one of it. I know a lot of people, when I did the second one, a lot of people were just like, ooh, that's like really spicy. I've never thought about that in print kit, but it's like, I don't know, probably should have been standardized. You could even play 3 of it, but again, it's just like you need to go in second cards. And then also drawing like this plus right isn't like the greatest thing ever, because it's just a card that like just sits in hand at that point. You kind of want a lot of your cards to do a lot of things, to be able to push through hand traps or beat hand traps. We don't want bricks. It's a huge thing. 2 souls, 2 illusion, 1 prep. I was told to change the 3rd souls that was in the deck to prep, but at the same time, it's like, what are the odds of you drawing a souls plus prep and 60? It's a 4 and 1 of, which is like so low. I had the math on it before. So this will probably just end up being souls. People also side in Bell against you, and if they see you like playing a little bit weird, like if you like activate right, bring out token, or it really depends. I don't know. Like if you start with prep, they're not gonna Bell it because you're on print kid. I don't like this card very much, because like that interaction just realistically is never going to come up in this build. And then the third souls can come up with multiple different things. It's a bridge with small world. You can search it off dark. It's a body that you can just put on board. You don't want to activate Soul's Effect every time on field because it plays an Ogre in some hands, and literally just format, I don't want to fold the Ogre because it's such a, it's not a bad hand trap, but I don't want to fold to it. 2 Fusion Destiny, Griffin, Draco. Griffin's just an extender, so this isn't a brick. It's like Griffin plus a Prank Kid just plays through Ash. Now for the actual bricks, Draco back, Driver, Celestial, Dasher. These are all like really bad cards. You don't have to play Driver. You cut that. And then, Pranks, Infusion Spell. These are like the bricks, pseudo brick type cards. If your Prank Kid goes through, then drawing one of these is really good because you get the Search Field Spell, which is nice. You get that in the rotation. Makes it way easier to end the game too. Then that is it for the main deck. I played 60 cards. Gotta love to see it. And then I have the Ray token. Shout out David. Best token. This will be in every picture, hopefully, of me at the PPG. And then Meow. I decided to play one of this. Bow Wow. 2 Doodle. You don't need 3 Doodle. Doesn't really come up. I think this ratio is just correct. Once you learn how to play the deck correctly, this is the correct ratio. And then 2 Link Spider, 2 Anaconda. You can't play Link Karibo and 1 Link Spider because then you can't play through Nib, which is like huge. Like you need to be able to play through Nib. And I'm just like always assuming that my opponents are nibbing in the correct spots and not in the incorrect spots. So I want to build my deck like correctly. And 2 Anaconda came up a lot. It's really good. I think 2 of it's nice. It's also a way to play through Nib. And then Dark. Shout out to Cody for this. I ended up putting this in like last minute. A lot of my deck ended up having changes last minute. And this was really, really good. I won so many games off of this just taking DP. Unicorn, access code just to end games. You don't have to play Unicorn. But I think it's good just to end games quicker. And because games can take a while right now. You really don't want to be going to time. Even though like you are a Prank Kid tech, you just don't want to lose the time. Rocket Rod, Weather Washer, Battle Butter, and Enforcer. So that's just the extra deck. And then onto the side deck, played 2 Token Collector. My side deck patterns just make sense. So like a lot of people don't like my side deck patterns and they think you should just be playing all 3 of, but that's very incorrect. I think there's like a correct way to side deck and an incorrect way to side deck, and eventually everybody will learn the correct way to side deck. I used to have all 3 ofs in my side deck back when I was like 13, and then I learned how to side deck correctly, so that's why my side deck is not just all 3 ofs. It's Token Collector, 3 Moonlit. So because the Gammas got taken from the side deck to the main deck at 2 a.m. before the tournament, we needed like generic card to put in. So we just put in Moonlit, and then you did not need this card. So that should not have been there. Well, not 3 of it, I should say. 1 of it should be there for sure, but 3 of it should not be there. I think 1 of it is fine for a lot of the side deck patterns. Droll and Lockbird. Droll's a hand trap, it's nice. I do think I need Lancia in the side deck. I think it's bad versus like everything besides Flunder. It's just there for Flunder. Droll is like decent versus some decks, but it's just Flunder hate. Like I just can't beat that deck. That deck's just really, really oppressive versus the decks I've been playing. I just kind of hope that like the Flunder players have to play versus like the big combo players and get knocked out of the tournament really early because their deck just can't be Dagda, especially with everyone playing their deck incorrectly right now. People are playing like 6 hand traps on their Flounder list, which means they just auto lose to Dagda every single match. They should be playing like Nib, Imperm, Shifter, other hand traps. Dark Ruler shouldn't be in the main deck probably. And then Crossout. Really good card. Called by, also a very good card. Crossout is actually my secret tech choice for the event. I'm the person that came up with this card. And then And then 2 talons, just more going first cards. It's pretty good card. I actually drew like cross out talents a few times, which is like the dirtiest combo in the game, to be honest. And with all of that being said, the Prank Kid Grinder almost signing off because I have to walk across the table because I'm not editing this video.
Kid Grinder.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I can't.